Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Mining Conversation with MsTedy podcast. The podcast is proudly sponsored by Menor, and today we are going to be having a conversation with Tumi Metswi, who is a mining consultant. And before I start the conversation, I just want to remind you to subscribe, like, share, and follow so you do not miss any of our episodes. So, let me just welcome my guest. Thank you so much for coming through.
No, thank you so much, MsTedy and the team, for granting me this opportunity.
Yeah, so let's just start at the beginning. Mining consultant. What is that? What do you do? What are your responsibilities?
It's very broad, but I'll just be specific based on what we do. But under mining consultant alone, you have guys that are focused on maybe mining investments. You get the ones that are focused on the production side and efficiency, where my role is. So my current responsibilities are to build sustainable solutions for these mining houses, and also to ensure we optimize their processes and systems, and to ensure they hit productivity targets as according to the business plan.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. So what would you say are the challenges that that are faced by the mining companies that you have come in and then you've done your work or your services, offered your services to those problems that they're facing? And
the common challenge that we normally face, or adversity, is that the mining companies, they rely more on the like they can perform well when the economy is good, when economy allows.
okay.
But when the basket prices are a bit low, as currently they are, it's a big challenge for them to be able to afford good systems. And you must remember, consulting services, they don't come cheap.
Yeah.
They are quite expensive. So the challenges of them from the mining side is affordability, and also looking at their operational challenges, of which 81% of the challenges are operationally based, and about 51% of that sits in the front line, which is your supervisory line. So those are the challenges that the mining houses are confronted with in most cases.
Okay, so now let's say I own a mine. I own a mine, and then I'm facing one of those production challenges, whatever. I call you to offer your services. When you get to the mine, what is it that you actually do? Do you go through the books? Do you speak to the employees? Do you speak to the employers? Where do you start? How do you go about it? And what would your end goal be by the time you finish with that, working with that mine, or with my mine, because it's my mine? Like I said.
No. Remember, the end goal is to optimize.
Yes.
So as I get to your operation, I do the diagnostics, depending on the problem that you're facing.
Yeah.
Because if it's efficiency problem or productivity, or you find like you have high performance culture issues, then I have to start with diagnostics to check the current state of operation. And through that, we'll be able to determine the baselines to say, this is where the problems are sitting. That's why we cannot reach production targets. So we customize solution for you specifically, because the blanket approach doesn't really help mining houses, because we mine differently. And for example, where I come from, we have about 4 different mining companies, and they have about their own mining way. Some are underground, some are surface mining, and you must know also what needs to happen on underground mining as compared to surface mining.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we have to customize solutions every time for your problems so that you can get real benefit from our services. Yeah.
Okay. So now, with the different mining skills that we have,
Yes.
yes, you say that you don't have an overall type of solution you look at. So, but for small scale mining, medium scale mining, large scale mining that we have in South Africa, you even mentioned that your services do not come cheap. So, do you get calls from, or do you offer your services a lot to large scale mining more than small scale or medium scale, or they just call you as they see fit or when they need your services? Like, where's your core business at?
It's on the medium to large,
Okay.
but also the small scale can also afford our services depending on how they plan. Remember, if they really want our services, we can talk, then they plan for the next financial year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if they are proactive in terms of planning, they can also, be able to utilize us to build systems for them.
All right.
Yeah. But like for big companies, it becomes easy because they always have money somewhere for continuous improvement activities that it's always budgeted for every financial year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so and when is best to seek your service? Is it at the beginning of the problem, or when now I see what now I don't know what to do, I need someone from the outside to help us? When will it be best to seek a mining consultant?
that one you cannot really be specific to when. Yeah, because it also goes with the operational strategy. CEO will come with his or her own strategy, which sometimes doesn't include consultancy services. Yeah? Some CEOs, they come with the services or with the strategy rather that include consultant strategies. So it's not something that we can have a clear cut to say when. Some they prepare to set the right culture from the foot, because as we know, like strategy, if ever you don't have the right culture, no matter how you strategize, things will fall out of play.
Yeah.
So some will wait, obviously trying their own tricks as well to resolve their own matters.
Yeah.
Remember, these guys, they also have experts. As much as consultants are subject matter specialists, but these guys, they also have their own experts, which are carrying legal responsibilities at the mine.
Yeah.
So they will obviously try through their teams to bring solutions. But when they hit that time whereby they cannot be able to find right solutions, then they can reach out. And the other thing is, it can happen also through references whereby some operations which have utilized your services can suggest to the other to say, try those guys, they are good at what they do. These are the return on the investment. So that's how it goes.
So how does one, because you say you become a specialty in a subject, how does one then become a mining consultant? Do you work in a mine for a certain period? Did you study something? How did you then become that specialty on the...
That's the right question. Remember, as a consultant, you have to be at the mine every day. Or not necessarily every day, but more often. So you learn, and there's a benefit there as well.
Yeah.
You learn like most mining processes. Like, for example, if we can have a chat to other guys, like in my case, I've been underground where I've for about for a couple of years, over 4 years,
Yeah.
where I was going to mining phases every day, where drill is happening, charging is happening, blasting is happening. You see, and you also, as a consultant, you have a benefit of, because you are not situated at the same mine. Maybe allocation will say, okay, you are on assignment to certain operation which is in South Africa. Next time they send you to operation maybe in Ghana, where they utilize different drilling method, of which maybe can be dry drilling, or maybe they use a water for drilling. So over time you become expert in such services. And also one thing as well that adds value to you as a mining consultant, it's we come from different backgrounds. Some people, they are consultants. Me, I'm coming from the industrial engineering background.
Okay.
So improvement and productivity, something that has been embedded a while back. So there are some mining consultants that only specialize with people like HR services. And those guys, they have been also in the journey. They know what works in the HR space and what doesn't work in the HR space. You know.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a balance of time on the ground and also your studies or your qualification.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then with the time that you spent in the mining industry, how has technology, because we are moving in the era where we just
The 4IR, yeah.
using, yes, you know, and with every guest that I invite, they speak mostly about the technology. So how is the technology improving the mining industry in South Africa? Are we at the world standard, or are we getting there, or we just bit by bit slacking?
One thing that I can share with you, MsTedy, is South Africa on its own has a very rich history when it comes to mining. I mean, when we look at the continent, I think we are number one. And when you check the mining houses that are mining South Africa, or mining companies, we talk about giant companies like your Anglo-American, your Harmony, your African Rainbow Minerals. So those companies, obviously, they have more advanced systems that they have tried maybe elsewhere overseas, but they ended up adopting that into South African mining operations that they have. So we are fairly good, but there's a room for improvement when it comes to advancement of technology. And I think it's very key for us to understand, you know, like technology is just an enabling vehicle. It's an enabler. Production starts with your crew at the mine. So touching on the tech role, technology comes and helps us to be able to monitor, to be able to report, to be able to also communicate in a very efficient way. So tech alone cannot mine, but we going in a direction whereby robotic mining starts to encroach as well the mining space. Like we currently have machines in South Africa whereby you just code, then the operator can leave the machine for the entire hour or so. The machine will drill. When it stops drilling, then the machine will retract the boom from the face. So we are fairly doing well when it comes to tech in mining.
And then would you say that are all mining companies now using the mining consultant services, or some are just reluctant or are not there yet, or they now see whether there is a benefit in having a mining consultant?
Yeah, I wish all want to, but as I've mentioned to you, currently our basket price, like your PGMs, they are doing platinum group metals, they are doing very bad. Your coal has dropped, diamond extremely bad. At least we have gold, which is doing fairly well. We have manganese, which is a critical mineral as well, doing fairly good. So there's a situation where the operation wants to utilize your services, but due to the financial flows, they cannot be able to afford you at that specific time. Yeah.
So you're saying that a mining company cannot have a mining consultant as their employee. They need to source the services from another company.
No, they can. Some mining company, they ended up appointing consultant.
Yeah.
But here's the difference. Let's use this example. I'm Tumi Metswi. I'm working for MsTedy. Yeah, for MsTedy mine.
Yes.
Then MsTedy says, okay, Tumi, I wanna appoint you full time. You will appoint me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but over time, I will start to lag behind in terms of my services because I'm not exploring as much as consultants do. Like consultants, they always try to be up in the game.
Okay.
Because they have to bring solutions.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have to bring solutions. And consultants understand, like, when they go to operation, when I speak to you as a GM or the owner of the mine, that specific individuals know that mine from A to Z. So it's not easy for me to sell dreams for you. You'll be able to pick that up very early. So some companies, as you did ask, they did appoint consultants in the past. It's still happening even now. Yeah, but from my observation over time, they just lag behind in terms of what they should offer.
And how much do you travel with this kind of job?
A lot.
A lot.
Yeah, it's one of the challenges that consultants face. Is, to be honest, to be a consultant and to have a family, a snip up and place. Because today you are told you're going to Northern Cape, ne? You are in Northern Cape for 6 months. After 6 months, they tell you
For 6 months?
Yeah, for example, project. If project duration is 6 months, then they send you there for 6 months, ne? Then after that 6 months, there's a new project somewhere. Let's say DRC, and they allocate you to DRC maybe for 2 years. So it's not always easy to. That's why most consultants, they give up with this family thing. They don't want to stress wives and kids, because it's very difficult because most of the time you are away. But however, there are good mining consulting companies that try by all means to give you time as a consultant with your family.
Yeah.
Like the current company that I'm working for, they fly consultants home every weekend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, irrespective of where you come from, they fly you home every weekend. Because they understand, that the other challenge is that as a consultant, you don't have like specific hours, like saying you're working from 8 until 5. It doesn't happen in that fashion always. Sometimes you find like you go with your production shifts.
Yeah.
If shift started 6 o'clock, for example, underground, it means by 5 o'clock you must be underground. You start with the planning underground. Then obviously you'll go to the site with the guys and see if like they perform their duties according to plan, right? Then maybe you'll spend 4 hours underground, then you come out. You get busy with your administration stuff. When night shift comes, you have to go back down with them.
With the night shift.
With the night shift guys.
Wow.
So you find like, okay, but you'll find a gap sometimes during the day depending on how your project setup is to rest. So in the morning you miss communication with the family, and also at night you miss it.
I see.
Yeah. During the day, like summer, it's cool, summer, wherever work or so. So your working hours are not yeah. So that's one flexibility that consultants should have.
So what is it that you enjoy about your job? Because it sounds pretty hectic.
It's not that bad if you are used to that lifestyle.
Okay.
Yeah. But to start it is a bit heavy. Then what I like most about being a mining consultant is the fact that you have opportunity to contribute to the entire value chain of mining, and you have opportunity to learn throughout, from ground to where the material goes. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the benefit of it, depending if you have an inquisitive mind, because like me specifically, I like to understand how things work. So if ever something is happening which is really interesting, I put my focus there and gain more knowledge about that specific thing.
And what is it that you dislike? Since you have a like, you got to, there must be, or you just love everything about the job.
What I dislike, no, is the fact that, as I've told you, you travel a lot. Number one, travel is not a problem, but what I don't, or what is normally a challenge to me, is that I'll build a relationship with you for this specific 6 months, where I'm offering services to you, including the team that I'm working with. But there's no guarantee that the next 6 months, if ever I have to travel to DRC, I will go with the same team. So you keep on building relationships and messing them at the same time. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds very interesting. So let's say there's a young person listening and is thinking, I could do mining consultant. What would your advice be to that person who wants to be a mining consultant?
No, they must go for it. They must go for it, because if you want to understand mining, some of us we had a good opportunity at a young age to be able to work on the precious metals.
Yeah.
And when we think about the mining on its own, the value that it contributes to the economy of South Africa, it's really, really huge. So if you really want to contribute positively to South Africa, I will advise young people to go for it. But however, they must know what they should expect along the journey. Yeah. Because it is not as easy as it is. But also for the guys that like to travel, that wants to know the world and stuff, it like I guess it's place to be.
Okay.
Yeah. If you really wanna travel the world without your expenses.
Free traveling. But you'll still be working hard.
Yeah, you'll still be working hard. And also one part that we must touch on is that the mining, because I know the young person might ask in terms of the not necessarily the salary scale, but if the earnings are good. Yeah. So that's one thing about mining consulting. They are not as extreme as one would think, but like you get really, really fairly paid. Yeah. So understanding that it's not all about money. That's why I'm saying some people will find money on the other side, but struggling with other social stuff. You know, some will say, I can do both, like me, and I must say, I was fortunate to move quick into that space because currently I'm not traveling a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm home most of the time. I'm working from home because I'm responsible for business development. So I only travel if ever I have to go and meet MsTedy, negotiate the deal.
Yes.
Once the deal is signed, then I go back home and start, looking at other opportunities. Yeah.
But are there any other job opportunities within the mining consultant?
Yeah,
thing?
there are.
Okay.
There are job opportunities. The only thing is, people are, like, you might find, like, they don't know the mining consulting companies that are in South Africa.
Oh, okay.
Like for example, I'm working for a global company, and our head office is in Cape Town here in South Africa, but we also have office in Australia, and we're doing projects like all over.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think that the only thing is, people maybe might not know, like, about the existing consulting companies in the country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So just what would you like see happening in the mining industry? I always ask this question because the whole purpose of having this podcast is that we find a solution or get people talking about the solutions that they have
True.
for the mining industry so that it does get better. I mean, there are people who still want to work in the mining industry who will be working even once we are gone from this world and stuff like that. So what is it, or what would it take for the South African mining industry to get better, to go bigger, and continue flourishing?
I think the key thing is, it's for me, what I would really like to see happening is for companies to have capacity at frontline. There are a lot of issues that sits with the supervisory, because when you think of it, let's think about the incidents or accidents that happen in the mining space. Yeah. Sometimes it's just due to behavior. So if we can have capacity at frontline leaders, that will mean a reduction when it comes to fatals, LTIs, which DMR doesn't want it. DMR doesn't want people to die. DMR doesn't want mines to injure people. And we understand why. And also the other thing is, if we can get capacity at frontline, then it means more productivity for that specific operation, because now they will be able to do as according to plan. And sometimes you plan sharp in the morning, everyone understand the plan, but during the course of the shift, something comes, like you hit a certain level of adversity, something out of plan. So the capacitated frontline leaders, they understand what is my short interval control. If ever I get a breakdown, if ever this comes, instead of then panicking, then they start doing things which they should not. Yeah. So I think if we can get the capacity at frontline in the mining industry, then both the mining companies and the country will benefit. And people will go to work, with a sense of purpose, because everyone will understand where I sit in terms of the strategic alignment map.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you have any last words you would like to share with us? Thoughts about the industry? Anything on your mind?
So there's a quote that states, we all make choices, but in the end, choices makes us. So as we wrap up this session, I just wanna say, like, anyone who wants to come into this space, like, they can make that choices. And you must remember, as you want to join the mining consulting space, that also there's a specific way that you should behave and conduct yourself in order for you to build your future in that space. Yeah, thank you.
Wonderful. That was Tumi Metswi, who is a mining consultant, and he was sharing with us what duties and responsibilities of a mining consultant, and that conversation went well. Thank you so much for coming through. Thank you. Thank you. And I would like also to thank Menor for making this podcast possible. I would also like to thank my team, Kamuhelo Malangabi, Chweni Sitache, and Mosamaloi. Also would like to thank Nkele Khatebe for her makeup services. And this, I don't know if I should say unfortunate or fortunate, is the last episode for this season. As I said, this season, we are coming back again towards the end of January with season 2. And I must say, it's going to be bigger, greater, better. So if you've enjoyed season 1, brace yourself for season 2. Please do go back to the previous episodes, rewatch, reshare, re-like, re-comment. And if you have any suggestions for us, you can share them on the comments, or you can send them through to miningpodcast66@gmail.com. With that being said, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for subscribing, liking, and sharing, and following. Thank you, and goodbye.